Why hello there, I'm Ryan Funk, and welcome to You Talk. It's a program dedicated to diversity, highlighting native-born and new Canadians' cultures and experiences. It's never a bad idea to diversify yourself through your passions, hobbies, career, and other pastimes. Yevgeniya Tatarenko is one of those individuals who could be considered a jack of all trades, always excited to add another feather into her cap. Either through starting the Ukrainian School in Morden, Manitoba, teaching fire dance, or her passions of marketing, journalism, and history, Yevgeniya is always on the move.
So Ukraine is an awesome country in Eastern Europe. It's located between Poland and Russia. Ukraine is pretty big country for Europe. So it's the biggest in Europe actually. And if we count Ukraine as a European country, and it has like a lot of neighbors, geographical neighbors, 7 neighbors, so which is also awesome. That's why all these cross-cultural connections, they are everywhere in Ukraine. So that's why Ukraine is so different. When you travel to different parts of Ukraine, different regions, so you will discover like different landscape, different tradition, different food, and differently looking national costumes, and so on. And I am as a collectioner of authentic clothing, so I can definitely say, oh my gosh, Ukraine is so different. Like every single region is different. Talking about clothes, yeah, and even sometimes even different villages. So they are like 10 kilometers between or 5 kilometers between villages, and the clothing will be different. So, and 100 years ago, they knew exactly, okay, so this person was exactly from this region or from this this village. So they are not from our village, they are strangers, and so on. And Ukraine, yeah, is really strong talking about traditions, and especially traditional food. So, and yeah, like the whole world knows some of the dishes like borscht or vareniki that we call here pirogi, yeah, and голубці, kovbasa, halushke. So it's really well known around the world, and yeah, all of them, they came from Ukraine. And sometimes we even call Mennonite borscht. But why we call it Mennonite borscht? Because it was actually kind of because Mennonites had their settlements on the territory of Ukraine, so they just lived with Ukrainians around. So that's why they started to cook borscht as well, but in their version. And they even call, as far as I know, so they even call garlic in Ukrainian way. So they call it chesnik, which is...
Oh, chesnik.
Yeah. Huh? See? You probably don't know this word.
Yeah, I've heard it a couple times.
Yeah, this is actually a Ukrainian word. And yeah, even rollkuche and something like these, those are dishes from Ukraine. So that's why, like, Mennonites, they brought to Canada those dishes, calling them Mennonite dishes, but they have them just because they lived on the territory of Ukraine, exactly in my native region, Zaporizhia region. So,
super exciting.
Yeah, I arrived exactly from where majority of Mennonites arrived to Manitoba, and especially to our region, Winkler, Morden, and so on. So it's gonna be very interesting to learn. And yeah, other cool things that the whole world knows, or a lot of people know, but it's really exciting about Ukraine, that Ukrainians do like to decorate eggs for Easter, and we use like really unique techniques. So we work with beeswax and with special tools, with special dyes, so we can create we can decorate them, or as we call, to write pisanka. Yeah, because we use special tool to write those patterns patterns, yes, not to paint, not to decorate, but we write them on pisanka. So, and sometimes to decorate one pisanka takes up to 4 hours. It's usually 4 hours.
Oh wow, that's a project and a half.
Yes, that's why. And Ukrainians do believe that pisanka can bring to life and can make any dream happen. And it's not a surprise, because if you work on some project for 4 hours at least, some of pisankas, they can take up to 8 hours of work of decorating, so adding additional layers of wax and then putting into different colors, different egg dyes. So if you work on this project for 4 or 8 hours, so you put so much energy into this one single egg, so there is no surprise why it works, why this dream can come true, because you put so much energy, you believed in this dream, so that you kind of was asking this pisanka while you were decorating it, yeah. And then when
it's a very interesting like philosophy. I mean, it teaches you discipline and hard work ethic.
Yes, and it teaches you kind of to believe in miracles, in dreams, and you kind of, it organizes you. So every single year you decorate this one particular pisanka. It should be a raw egg, so it's living egg, it's living energy, and you kind of think about your dream while you're decorating this egg for 4 or 8 hours, and for sure next year, so your dream will come true, because kind of you were working on your mind, on your heart and soul, and on your dream during this time so hard, so, and you believed in this. So that's how usually all the miracles and how dreams come true. It's easy to explain and there are no magic. So that's why Ukrainians really love to do this. And the interesting thing with Canada and Ukraine and pisanka decorating tradition, that in Ukraine actually it was almost lost tradition during USSR time, but it was saved in Canada. So now Ukrainians are bringing back this tradition because it's so strong tradition exactly in Canada. So I should say I was learning on my own how to decorate pisankas, but I didn't have the access to so many of different tools and different techniques as I have now in Canada.
It really sounds like your love for history and collecting artifacts and taking part in traditions kind of fed into wanting to study archaeology back in school.
As I say, I'm a nerd. I always was a nerd at school, and I was a fan of two subjects. I was a fan of English, and I was a fan of history. And my future turned into the way when I had 13 years of experience of archaeology in Ukraine, and then I brought like my experience and my English that I was learning since I was 4 and never stopped to do this. So, and I brought to Canada, and like my experience in archaeology and knowledge of history, so gave me a chance to work for Canadian Fossil Discovery Center, and my experience in marketing and event planning and all of the things, so helped me to be like really cool and successful programmer. So as program manager, and that's why how I came up with different projects for for museum, how to engage people and how to talk about history and our past and our land with what we have here and how it looked 80 million years ago. So and my experience in archaeology actually made me, because especially archaeological camp time, like during the summer, so I met a lot of people. So those people actually told me like, hey, Yevgeniya, you're so cool. Do you write? Yeah, like I do. Then they asked me, why aren't you in journalism? And I was like, yeah, definitely. Why I'm not a journalist yet? So like 2 months later, I was a journalist, and this is how my way in journalism started. Yeah, just from the question why I'm not in journalism yet. So I started to think about this, and yeah, I started with writing different articles and taking pictures, nice pictures, and writing about different events, different music events, and different organizations, different people, and so on, so on. So then I started to move on, and but my education is actually in economics and marketing. So that's how I got my first job in marketing, because I was already working there as a journalist. So they just offered me the position of marketer. That is how I became a marketer, because it's my kind of my major. So, and connecting all of those things, like about history, archaeology, journalism, marketing, so built actually me. Yeah, and I can't stop. I can't stop sharing what I know. I can't stop talking about history of different nations. And even now I learn about First Nations, yeah, in Canada. And I'm amazed at how many connections we have in our traditions, how we believe in spirits, how we believe in herbs, how we work with herbs, yeah, how we heal people with herbs, how we make a difference, and in what we believe. Like Ukrainians do believe in the same things that First Nation people in Canada believe. So that's kind of different things that built me and helped me to become the marketer. And I worked in 3 different countries being a marketer. So Canada, my third country, and I was working in 2 capital cities. So now I don't live in capital city. I live in small city, but I enjoy this life. I enjoy all these people, sweet people, and I think I enjoy in Canada and in more than in our region, yeah, Pembina Valley. I enjoy the opportunities that I can see, I can kind of use these opportunities, like all the open doors for me, for any of my ideas, for any of my projects, anything. So if I dream about something, if I want to bring something to life, if I want to organize, what I should do, I just need to connect with people, just ask for some information, for some help, and voila, I can launch anything here. I can start any project. And like all my dreams that I was dreaming, and even I think twice bigger, yeah, volume of those dreams and exposure of those dreams, yeah, actually happened here. So that's why I couldn't even imagine that I will achieve so much here. If
Is that why you wanted to create the Ukrainian United School? To
Yeah.
help grow those traditions and culture and practices?
Yeah, it was actually my dream. And it was my dream first, and that was a promise to my mom. So first it started from the dream that I want to organize, to create my own little Ukraine in Canada. So I wanted to build the space for Ukrainians and people that they kind of recognize them as Ukrainians, where they can come, where they connect with other people, they can communicate, they can have like awesome events, they can enjoy those events, they can participate in those events, they can even plan or help to organize those events, and they can learn about culture. And like I was dreaming about teaching kids in the way of love, and just in the way of love to Ukraine. So if they love Ukraine and all the everything Ukrainian, so they will achieve a lot. So they will learn better, faster, and they will be sharing this with the whole world as well. So as I do, because I'm totally in love with what I learned before. So that's why I had this dream, to build this school full of love, full of knowledge, and full of happiness and joy, and that everyone will feel like they are the part of the huge world, yeah, but own world with cool traditions, cool events, nice people around, trust and help, and so on, so on, and the wish to learn more. And yeah, another one cool connection with Ukrainian United School was my promise to my mom. So she was, at least until this school year, she was a school principal, and she always was teaching Ukrainian language, Ukrainian literature, Ukrainian culture. She always was, and she is a big deal. Yeah, she's a teacher. So I told her once, okay, like, mom, you have no choice. I'm only a child, and I'll bring you to Ukraine, to Canada. So, and she told me like, no, but what I will do in Canada, here I'm a big deal. Here I'm a teacher, school principal. I teach Ukrainian. I'm what I am. And I told her like, okay, then I will open my Ukrainian school and you can do the same, but in Canada. So it sounded like,
Well, that's incredibly sweet of you.
yeah, it really sounded like, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, how little girl can open this school in Canada. Yeah, just from very beginning. But that was my promise to my mom. And what I did, I moved to Canada in 2016, and in 2017 I opened the door of my school 1 year after my immigration, 1 year and 4 months. So I did this, so kind of bringing my dream to life and kind of keep my words to my mom that I will open the Ukrainian school for her. So it's kind of sweet moment, but kind of something that helped my wings, as they say, to be strong and keep going, And yeah, and it's easy to organize those events when you work with kids and they're happy. So then their parents are happy. So it's easier to engage everyone, all ages, all generations, yes, into some projects. And even for Winterfest, it was easy for me just, to message all parents like, hey, let's go, let's do this, can you film your kiddos, saying,
yeah, let's do this together,
let's do this together, we're still together. Yeah, even being apart, we're still together. So that's why it's my little world, my little Ukrainian world, sweet and sweet and unique.
Well, you're also still involved in journalism. Can you just share a little bit about what you talk about and what you do?
Yes, talking about journalism, as I mentioned before, I was the press journalist. So I was writing articles. But now what I do, I'm a TV journalist, and I do film for over 4 years. I do film for 3 different TV channels in Ukraine. And mostly I film about the life in Canada, like the specifics of life, the cost of living, some nuances of the real estate, or nuances of economy, how it works, why it's better, why it's easier. Yeah, it's just showing examples of organization of life in Canada. And another one huge project I was working on, and I really did love this, I was working for environmental TV show. So it was like my role was to show examples how humanity can live with nature and keeping this ecological situation on a great level. Yeah, not to damage the environment, not to increase the pollution, and so on, so on. How we can work with I would say not live with trees, but work with trees. Yes.
Yeah, be a part of nature, not use nature.
Yes, because all this tradition of cutting trees in Ukraine and damaging trees and so on is just horrible. So this was one of my most popular episodes, because I showed how Canadians, for example, we have in Morden like park department, so they do plant plant their own trees, like oak trees. So like from the seed, and then they plant other trees. And what are the rules of planting trees, and how much every single tree costs for city, and what is the money value of each tree, and so on, so on. So some of the episodes, they are actually eye-opening for Ukrainians, or something about them. Shelters for pets, for animal shelters. Uh, that is so surpriseful for Ukrainians. That's why they're like, whoa, is it possible in this way? Like, yeah, easy.
You're also not just all work. You also like to have fun.
Oh yeah.
Such as your fire dancing school.
Yeah, my fire dancing school and my fire team. As I say, my fire school and my fire team, those are organizations or worlds of crazy people, because we do love to to play with fire. For sure, we were told that don't play with fire. Yes, we were nice guys until we tried. So, and now, yeah, I should say that dancing with fire, spinning fire, and juggling with fire. So this is kind of my stress relief. And this is my opportunity to reload myself and to remind myself that I can handle anything in this life. If I can handle the most dangerous thing in the whole world, as the fire, and fire is uncontrolled, so you can't control it. So you can just work with it, but you can't control. You never know what will happen next. So if I can work with fire, then I can work with anyone, with anything.
Yeah, working with a person is not nearly as dangerous as working with a live flame.
Yeah, exactly. And when you just even perform with fire and you hear the sound of burning hair, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm still not burning, totally burned. Smile and continue. So, yeah, and I do this for over 12 years. I do dance with fire. And when I moved to Canada, so we started, just two of us started this project. So we started because there are not a lot of people in Manitoba that can spin fire, dance with fire, So, and we started absolutely in different way. So we, as we say, we're not street performers. So we are higher level performers, fire performers, and we do tell stories with fire. So every single performance, perform it with our kids, or like with younger generation without fire, with flags, for example, or with other.
Yeah, you got to keep the kids safe.
Yeah, exactly. Or with adults or teenagers that are allowed to to work with fire. So we actually tell the story. We are storytellers. So that's why, like, every single performance, it has like unique sense, unique story behind, like even how the music connected. What are how the change of the music connected with what we show. So sometimes when you see our performances, so you can recognize different music from different cultures, and we will dance in exactly in that way. So if you can hear like Indian music, so then you will see like Indian style of dancing or something like this, or even sometimes Indian props that we use in different way, and so on, so on. So we're storytellers, and it's not just come and have fun with fire, because we call ourselves Fun and Fire. It's also telling the story in fire, and we tell love stories. We tell stories about Canada, about history of Canada, especially for Canada Day celebration. So I think those celebrations and those performances are our biggest performances. I call them like show what you learned during 1 year. It's like a year concert for us. It's really like massive performance with a lot of fire, and just to show how great Canada is. how Canada was built, or some of the parts of the history of Canada, because I love history. Yeah, so that's why we're talking.
Your archaeologist is showing through.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, shut up. Like, you tell my archaeologist and me, just shut up. No, it always talking, going back to history of Ukraine or Canada or something like this. Yeah, and also other cool thing was the spinning of fire, or just juggling and spinning all our props, that we train both of our hands, and we train the whole body. So, and it's well-known fact, when you work with your both hands in different way at the same time, but in different ways, so you train both parts of your brain, so then you develop your brain as well. So it's another my joke that sometimes when people say, like, how you can come up with such ideas, or how you can handle everything, I just say, like, come on, it's easy. I just have huge brain that I kind of train it with my fire spinning. So it's for sure, it's the joke, but yeah, it has some connection to reality.
For newcomers to Canada, Yevgeniya says one of the most vital tools is learning English. Once you've done that, stay connected with people, learn more, and follow your dreams. If you have any stories you'd like us to share, or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk, this was U Talk, and have yourself a good one.